Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ellis over here at Virginia H. Ellis DDS Dental Corp. Braces. We are going to talk about braces. What kind of braces are there? I myself had braces. I will admit to you, I had them when I was in my 30s and I don't regret it. It was one of the best things I could have done. It was great. And I can firsthand tell you what it's like to have braces, and I'm going to answer some questions that people have had about braces. By the way, braces are not just for children. As an adult, yes, you can have braces, all right? So, Dr. Ellis, what are traditional braces and how do they work to straighten your teeth? So here we go. Here's one of my fave models. Traditional braces are what I call train tracks. See, train tracks. So they do have the metal ones, and they also have the ceramic ones that are transparent, but you cannot always use the transparent ones in all cases. It just depends on the complexity of your case. So just remember, if you think you want white, it's not always possible. It just depends on your type of situation. But these are traditional braces. And then the aligners, the Invisalign kind of aligners, those are the clear ones that you can take on and off, okay? How do they work to straighten teeth? Oh, so I'm going to go back here. They work by adjusting, putting these metal parts are called brackets and the wires and pulling on them and adjusting them to create force and create tension to move or shift the teeth to areas where you want them to be properly aligned. What is the difference between, I just answered this one, traditional braces and other types of braces? Well, basically, you have the fixed braces, which are these, okay? And you have the ones that you can remove. Here's my take. If you know that you're not going to be good about keeping trays all day long and they're going to be bothering you if you're like on the phone all day long, don't get the Invisalign or don't get the removable aligners. Those may not be for you. This type of stuff would be better for me. I knew I was not going to be able to keep the aligners, so I was like, there's no way. I went ahead and got this, and in about a year I was done. It was great. They are harder to clean, way harder. They take you, if you're really fast, it'll take you about 20 minutes to clean your teeth. That's the hardest thing about braces, cleaning your teeth, okay? And the aligners, you could just remove them. Cleaning your teeth is a lot easier, okay? So that's something to remember. By the way, on that note, whenever you have braces, you need to have your teeth cleaned at the dentist every 3 months. Not every 4, not every 6, every 3 months, just because it's so much harder to keep your teeth clean, okay? How much do traditional braces cost and what factors influence the price? You know, it really depends on what part of the country you are, what, packages the dentist have. Sometimes they'll throw in the braces for free if you do like a huge case. And it also depends, obviously, if you live in a cheaper part of the country, it'll be a lot cheaper than, say, the price that people charge in New York or in California, okay? So I would say anywhere between $3,000 to $7,000, but I don't set their prices. Some cases are $10,000. It just depends on the complexity of your case, okay? And that does not include surgeries for the jaw, because a lot of times people need to have surgery, jaw surgery. So the prices of the braces are one price and the prices of the surgery are set by the medical doctors, the oral surgeons, okay? Let's see, that's what influences the price, okay? The complexity, depending on where you live, and the length of your treatment. What is the difference between diamond braces and traditional braces? Diamond braces are braces like this that are straight and they don't have the rubber bands. Traditional braces like this one will have the rubber bands, and usually the diamond braces, the ones where you just have like the window where this slides through in here without the rubber bands, those are generally for simpler cases and they're usually for shorter cases. The ones that have the rubber bands are usually for longer cases, more complex cases, and you can't always have the diamond or the faster braces. It just depends on your typical, your type of situation. And the orthodontist can let you know more about that. How do self-ligating braces compare to traditional braces? I just said that. The ligating braces, again, are the traditional braces. The diamond braces are the, non-ligating braces. They're for simpler cases. These guys here, they're faster. These ones here are for these are ceramic brackets, and they're not for every case, by the way, but this is just for example. They have metal and then the rubber band. Those are more for complex cases that take longer to finish. What are the pros and cons of lingual braces versus traditional braces? You know, I've only had one patient who actually did have lingual braces. So what that means is, like, let's say you're an actor or an actress and you can't be showing your teeth like that. What sometimes they'll do is they'll do either Invisalign, the aligners, but if your case is complex, they'll put these inside. Oh, the problem with that is it really shreds your tongue. This one patient that had them, I said, how was that? She goes, I'll never do it again. It was so painful because it's already hard. When you have these things in here, it rubs against your tongue, you know, on the outside, even on the, you know, just chewing. The cheeks get scraped. You have to use wax. So I can imagine that on the tongue, it's really hard, okay? So you can ask. Sometimes you could go for this, something that's less obvious, like you can hardly see it. I'm going to put it closer. You see? These are ceramic ones. The only problem with ceramics is you can't have like tea or coffee because the ceramic bracket stains pretty easily. You can't eat curry or drink Coca-Cola, that kind of stuff, because it stains the brackets. But you know, you have to decide, hey, I'd rather have the white brackets, so I had to give that stuff up. So you just decide what you want to choose. Are traditional braces faster than Invisalign for straightening teeth? Well, in simpler cases, Invisalign, the trays that you take on and off, the clear trays, those can move your teeth faster, but those are generally used for simpler cases. And the way you use them is not always predictable. The brackets, these kinds of braces, they generally take a little longer to straighten your teeth. Okay, so that's the difference. How do fast braces compare to traditional braces in terms of treatment time? Okay, fast braces are sometimes something like this, and they can straighten your teeth between 3 to 6 months. The traditional braces will take anywhere, I don't know, between 18 and 24 months, but it depends on your situation. The thing about fast braces is you have to really be careful. You don't want to be moving teeth too fast because sometimes you can resorb your roots or the bone socket, okay? What should patients expect when getting traditional metal braces? Well, initial discomfort after adjustments, your teeth get sore, your cheeks can get sore. The cleaning is the biggest issue. The biggest challenge is cleaning your teeth. It takes a long time. You go through a lot of toothbrushes. Flossing your teeth will take you half hour. If you're super fast, it'll be about 20 minutes brushing and flossing every day. So that's the hardest part. It is the cleaning of your teeth. Are traditional braces still the best option for certain types of orthodontic case? Absolutely. So traditional braces are really the most reliable, predictable way of doing braces. The aligners, you can use them. They're for simpler cases, and they still work. It's just something to know. I think I hit up on the case where if you know you're going to be good about wearing your trays and you have a simpler case, the aligners, the invisible trays, can be good. If you're not good with keeping trays in your mouth, or you have a more complex case, then the brackets, the train tracks, will be your best bet. Okay, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with anyone who could benefit from it. I will see you at your next video. Bye.